Nice tits, bitch! In space!
Hello, fiends and fiendettes. Welcome to episode 76 of the best horror podcast on 7voltmedia.com and the world. Scream Fiends. I'm your host, Xander, and with me once again is Russ.
Hi, everybody.
If you're just joining us for the first time on this show, we talk about all the things going on in the world of horror, and if you're a long-time listener, you know we oftentimes don't follow by any sort of guidelines, rules, or whatever. We just do whatever we want. Talk about whatever we want.
It's true.
Oftentimes not horror related, but you know, we tend to tie it back in somehow. You know, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Get at us on Twitter at Scream Fiends. Let us know what you're watching, what we should watch. If we've been neglecting a movie that you love, let us know. We want to see it. Good, bad, ugly, all that. Patreon.com/ScreamFiends. You can donate if you would like. Become a patron. We'll give you stuff.
Patron?
Maybe.
They're not giving you anything.
Feed us Chipotle. Buy us cameras.
That's what we need right now.
Recording gear.
Yeah. Camera
All
would
that.
be most beneficial.
Yeah.
In a green screen.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with a green screen, but
we could get a green screen and just wear green suits minus the head and just be floating heads for our show.
oh, I like it. Subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, congratulations, you've won
No, you didn't.
nothing. iTunes and Google Play, if you're listening in audio form, subscribe there as well. I think that's what you do with podcasts, right?
I do.
I do as well. I think it's subscribe, right? Yeah.
Subscribe.
Yep, that's the button, what the button says.
Yep,
Press
subscribe.
that button.
Subscribe.
Press that button. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you know, that's how it is. All right, let's start this bitch. How we usually start. Russ, what have you been watching, playing, etc., etc., etc.?
So I have main focuses of interest in my life that come and go. Like, I'll be really interested for a little bit, then it'll trail off because I'll get distracted by other things.
Yep.
And Call of Duty World War II came out, so I got back into World War II history again.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've been doing. And it's not horror, but it can be.
Well, are we talking the game or the actual
War.
World War II?
I've started reading a book by Anthony Beevor. I don't know how to say his last name, but it's called Stalingrad.
Oh.
You know, and
Stalingrad.
Yeah.
Is that snipers behind enemy behind
I'm reading
gates?
It's like
enemy
a
gates.
comedy.
Is that what it is?
Well, that's another story about. I think they're in Stalingrad when
is
they're
that what
fighting.
the movie's called though?
No, the movie's called Enemy at
the
the
Gates.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a terrible fucking movie.
Jude Law and who's the other guy?
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris.
I liked
yes.
everything except for the love story.
I don't remember anything about that
It's
movie.
fucking stupid. It's got one of the Fiennes brothers in it too, and so there's like a jealousy aspect
Joseph
between.
or Rafe?
It's Joseph. I think it's Joseph Fiennes, and Jude Law get there's like a jealousy thing there at one point.
Love triangle.
Oh, it's fucking stupid. It's a movie about World War II snipers.
Yeah.
You know, I can't remember the name of the German one who was. There's no like actual documentation of this guy existing, you know, or something. And
the Fiennes character.
no, Ed Harris's character. They don't
Oh.
know that he actually existed, and they think that maybe some of the numbers and legends behind Vasily, the Russian sniper, were bolstered. I think they actually addressed it in the.
Was Jude Law the Russian sniper?
Yeah, he
And
played Vasily.
Ed Harris was the German sniper?
Yep.
Okay.
And I can't think of his name, but I like the movie except for that fucking dumbass love story. Don't put love stories in World War II movies, okay? Pearl Harbor and fucking
Oh,
Enemy at the Gates.
Pearl Harbor, was that Aerosmith singer daughter?
Yeah, I think so.
What's her name?
She's terrible in almost every movie.
Armageddon.
She's in. Yep. She's the only one movie she's good in.
Well, I know which one you're talking about.
But so
I wouldn't even. Yeah, I guess she was okay.
Yeah. But so I'm reading Stalingrad, which can be the stuff of horrors, as told to me by the man upstairs.
Yeah, it sounds
like just what the soldiers went through and stuff. So,
well, I mean, both sides definitely got annihilated, but Germans, once that winter hit,
they weren't ready.
Yeah, no,
they weren't ready.
Yeah, it sounds like they just basically they wanted to give up, but yeah, they kind of forced to be there.
Yeah,
with improper clothing. And the Russians were just like, they were told, like, you're fighting until you're dead. Like, either you die, but you never retreat.
Well, they had that whole human wave thing. And, apparently, like, you remember in the beginning of Enemy at the Gates where they'd give one guy a magazine and another guy a gun. When the guy with the gun gets killed, grab the gun, load it, and fire back. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that would not be a good time.
And so you would either do that, and if you tried to, they would just shoot you if you wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
they were shooting deserters. And,
yeah.
So it's horror. It's horror in a way, not horror in like a supernatural hockey masked man comes out of a lake and stabs you to death. It's real, actual horror in the world.
Human brutality.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, but I guess that's really what I've been doing as far as horror.
Well, since you mentioned Call of Duty World War II, that does have a zombie mode.
It does have a zombie mode.
Have you checked it out?
I played it a bit, and it's fun. It is what it always is every time, which I'm fine with. But it does bring up ideas where, like, I would like just a dedicated first-person shooter zombie game.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought they were changing it up to be more of like a standalone story,
like a campaign of zombies.
Yes,
yeah,
yes, exactly.
I would like that. I would like a campaign game where it's like World War II zombies, and it's like, but it's a campaign kind of thing instead. Where I don't know, something in the war happens where Hitler gets a hold of some occult shit, and then he uses it at the Battle of the Bulge or something, for example, and anytime these German soldiers drop, then they come back and it ends up being like a what if kind of a thing or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, in ways it is very similar to old Call of Duty Zombies, where you can buy weapons that are in like little slots. You use your points to buy weapons, blah blah blah. But the objectives seem a little more cohesive, a little more clear. Like, you have to turn on the generator, but you have to like fill gas in these 3 different things first, and it like has wires coming out of the thing, so you aren't like, well, where are these different things? You follow the wires.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a little more, as opposed to previous ones I played where it's just like
it's almost a campaign. I mean, in some ways, like when you get a whole like intro story and this and that, and it seems a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten very far in it either.
It's still just horde mode kind of. Whatever.
Waves. Yeah.
I would prefer just like a story experience with Nazi zombies.
Yeah, and that's, I mean,
or anything. I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be that setting. It could be any setting. I just want like a point A to point B story mission. And I want a campaign mode of like 12 to 15 missions where you're just fighting off zombies with whatever you can find in the map as you run through the level.
Right. Yeah, it reminds me more of, I don't know, I think it was in Call of Duty Ghosts, I want to say.
Sure.
The Infestation, I think is what it was called. But that was like aliens, but it was more similar to World War II, where it's like you're not really confined in one space. You kind of have this open area that you then unlock more places you can go. But it's not like the theme park from Infinite Warfare where it's just like you're running around this theme park.
And you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
You just got to get enough of the things.
Right.
But you can't get David Hasselhoff and the Kit robot.
Yeah, that makes it the best zombies mode ever, probably.
But yeah, so it's I wouldn't. It makes me just want like a zombie game that's fun.
Yeah.
Resident Evil. Been thinking about that again. Want to play some Resident Evil?
Well, one of these days we'll kick off our
Scream Fiend plays Resident Evil.
Scream Fiends plays one of these days. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because I want to play like all the Dino Crisis games.
Oh my yes.
All the Silent Hills. All that.
Yeah.
That's all you've been up to?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't blame you. It's been a...
Well, there's one other thing I did, but we're going to talk about that.
Oh,
together.
yes. Yeah, it's been a crazy past week. Thanksgiving. Hope y'all had a very jolly...
Christmas.
Yes. Stuff your face. Buy some cheap stuff on Black Friday. Avoid the trampling and fisticuffs, all that, you know. Yeah, I did. I watched. Well, like you said, we'll get to what we both watched, but I also watched this movie called Creep, and the sequel is coming out. If it's not out already, it's coming out soon. But it's like a not necessarily found footage, but it's in that style of like first person. He's got a video camera and he's filming whatever. But it's about this guy places an ad like looking for a videographer to tape his life or whatever. And so this guy answers the ad, goes out to this house in the not really wilderness, but kind of out in the woods. And things turn out to be a little bit crazy. Not in any supernatural way, but yeah, I don't really want to spoil it. Not that it's much to spoil, but yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It's very low budget, and it's a fun watch. It's pretty short, so it's not, you don't have to dedicate a lot of time to it, but yeah, it's good. Excited to see the sequel, because it seems like it's going to be more of the same, I guess, which is not bad when starting from a good place. Otherwise, I've been back in my Bloodborne kick. After beating the Surge, got my confidence up. I was like, that combat is really kind of sluggish, whatever. I'll just hop it into Bloodborne. It'll be all nimble and ninja-like. And
was it true?
Bloodborne, okay, so some areas in Bloodborne, totally manageable. And then there's other parts where it's like, this is just ridiculous. Like,
I always had trouble by the two broken carts where there's two werewolves.
Oh, yeah.
I avoid that place.
Right, the bridge where the what is that first optional boss?
I can't remember his name. The wandering...
No.
Demon,
No.
The tall, hairy, throw a knife in his face demon.
He's like a giant wolf.
Yeah, he sucks.
But not the blood-starved beast.
No, that guy's tough too.
Yeah.
Because he gets super fast, and then
he poisons you.
And he poisons you. I could not, like, for the first, like, my first attempt at that game, that's where I stopped. I'm like, I don't feel like doing this. Because, like, he kept poisoning me.
At the blood-starved beast?
Yeah. But then I did get past him eventually and got pretty far. I think where I ended my last, like, attempt was the Daughter of Chaos. It's that optional boss where you break out this window and jump in. Like, do you remember fighting, like, a weird, like, giant mushroom head thing?
Oh, I just beat that boss, the Celestial Emissary.
Yes.
Where it starts off with all the little aliens, and then you find the one that's the boss, and you get it to half health, and then it grows huge.
Yep, and then you fight it and beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's another boss there.
Oh, really? Yeah,
you turn around, and there's a window there, like a stained glass window.
Yeah.
Break that window and jump in there, but make sure you're fucking ready.
Okay. I just, literally where I left off, I know the window you're talking about because it's right behind the lamp.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I lit the lamp, and then I quit because you arrived. So
just jump.
Yeah.
Just jump in there and go fight that boss.
See, I'm following a like walkthrough video, like 100% guide, because I beat the game years ago at this point. But so now I want to just make sure I see everything in the game, and all that. But
just do it. Don't wait. Just do it.
I'll get there.
Don't wait for it.
I'll get there.
You're right there.
I never fought that boss either, because
Exactly.
I never fought the Celestial Emissary either on my first playthrough.
Now I kind of feel like playing that. I've actually been thinking about going back to Dark Souls again.
First one?
Yeah, no, 3. Go back to play some more Dark Souls 3, but now I'm kind of thinking maybe this, but I'm also thinking Zelda, but I'm also playing Call of Duty, and it's like, fuck.
I have to get the DLC for Bloodborne 2. I've never played that either.
Sure, I wouldn't mind doing that. My problem when I stopped playing Bloodborne was also when I started doing the chalice runs.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, this is stupid. This is dumb. Every dungeon looks the same.
Yeah, but those are optional, aren't they?
Yeah, I know. It just kind of killed the game for me that they put some like dumb, here, do this little thing to get some more items in it, as opposed to like your typical Souls game having everything you need in the game. It just kind of felt like dumb.
Is there stuff in the Chalice dungeons that
helps you? Like, yeah, you can get like better.
You can't get it in the game?
Well, you maybe, but I don't know. It just seemed like it's kind of a weird thing to put in there. And every level is designed exactly the same. It's like an H. And whatever. But it's kind of fun too, like because you get like high level fights and stuff that you can do in there. But I was doing those, and it kind of like took me out of the game that I didn't understand what I was doing, anyways.
Well, and aren't all the bosses in the Chalice dungeons just like versions of bosses from the game
it's like
itself?
harder versions of like normal things too, I think, and stuff. It's been a while now, but I didn't like that Chalice dungeon stuff so much. Plus, I didn't understand because you get chalices, but it's like you don't like. You can get better ones as you go. I don't really understand.
Yeah, I mean, you need items to make the actual chalices and all that. Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you play the DLC?
Mm-mm.
You didn't do the DLC?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Well.
Apparently it's supposed to make things make more sense again. Because I don't know what's going on in that game at all.
It's crazy. Like, as soon as I think I have a grasp on it, then it's just like, well...
I mean, because like based on just like the first part of the game, you and I have talked about this a million times.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's a guy with a bandage over his head standing over you, and he gives you an infusion of blood.
Yep.
Then a monster comes out, and then it starts on fire.
Yeah.
And then these little monsters come out and tickle you. And then you wake up, and then you just go from there.
Yeah.
I just like... What the fuck is happening? I have no idea where I am, why I'm here.
I've watched enough like lore videos at this point where I sort of get it. I know what's going on, but yeah, I guess that's tainted my like if I were a new player just coming into it, this is completely blind. It would be
that's my
insane.
Thing with between this and the Dark Souls 3 is just blind, just coming into them blind. I'm not saying the story's better. I'm just saying you have a better understanding of what you're doing in Dark Souls 3 than you do in Bloodborne.
Just barely though. Just barely, because all it really gives you is that there's a fire going out, whatever,
in the videos. Plus, but then when you get through the first part of the game, it's like, okay, sure, I don't know what I'm doing here, but then you get to the cauldron. And everybody pretty much tells you what you're doing. You have to go find those guys you saw in that video and bring their bodies or bring them back here to burn them.
Yes.
Then, granted, it's like, well, what does that do? It's all fantasy shit at this point. It's like, well, that relinks the fire, then you go fight this thing. But it's like you know why you're there and why you're doing. You know what you're doing. The motivation for the person playing the game is kind of like, well, why you're just doing it to see what's next. But
right.
What would the motivation be for the actual character? And I mean, you could come up with all sorts of stuff, but like my problem with Bloodborne was always, I have no idea why you're doing anything in that game. And it's my motivation is that the game is just really fun and it looks sweet, but I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just running around lost, which is still fun. But I'm just like, the argument for me was always, at least in Dark Souls, I had an idea.
Well, and the other thing is, like, with Bloodborne, like, half the game, and I don't know, half, probably less than half, maybe, it is kind of, it's more grounded, but then you hit the point where, like, the old ones start appearing, and you start going into the other, like, dimension. I don't know. See, I don't even know if it's another dimension where, like, the moon gets red. I don't know. It's after you kill Rom.
I remember
Rom the spider.
I don't remember if I did that.
I don't know.
I remember what I liked was when I started using those insights, and then I had enough of them so that I could see things that you don't normally see.
Yeah.
Like the one guy's. But they make things harder. So, like, the guys with the lanterns just come up to you and try to whack you. But when you use enough of those insights, there's eyeballs all over the lantern, and they shoot shit at you then. So it changes their attacks.
And I found out that's why everyone in the game is blind. They blind themselves because they don't want to see that shit.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
I like Bloodborne. I kind of want to do that now.
It's a good game.
I think what I'll have to do is just kind of watch lore videos as I'm playing it.
Yeah, it's worth it to watch lore videos because, I mean, especially the ones that get really deep into it.
I just wish I had the wherewithal and intelligence to do that myself. Like, I wish I could play these games and find these things as I'm playing. I'm just not. I don't have that ability.
Well, I mean, clearly it takes like more than one playthrough through the game to, like, even collect all the information, like, to even get a grasp of what's going on.
Yeah, true.
Like, I don't know.
The coolest thing I've ever found in a video game, and I found out it was we found out that it was already found, was that one time we were screwing around in the tower in Destiny 1, and I found that coin on top of a tree.
Oh yeah.
I was like, "You guys ever see this thing?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Whoa, what is this?"
Yeah.
Then we looked it up. It's like, "Oh, it's been done." It was a part of a thing way back in, whenever, but. Yeah, I don't know. Dark Souls movie. Let's do it. Bloodborne movie. Yeah.
Can't wait till December. PSX. Bloodborne 2. Gotta be there. Gotta be there.
That'd be nice. I need another new Souls game so bad. And I don't want it to be a Surge or a Neo. I want a fucking Souls game. Or Bloodborne game. I
mean a From Software game.
I want a From Software Soulsborne game.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah, because we are getting Code Vein. That's the next, I think it's the next Souls-like.
Yeah, but who makes that one?
I'll
look it up. What did you say it was called again?
Code Vein.
That's right, Code Vein.
Yeah, that one's more like more similar to Bloodborne, I think.
Sure.
Just as like
Bandai Namco. So yeah, it's being published by the same place. I don't know if it's being developed by From Software, but
no, it's not.
It's being developed by Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, for me, when I watch that, it reminds me. I'm interested because it reminds me of we talked about it. Cain, the Legacy of Cain.
Oh yeah.
Blood Omen 2, Legacy of Cain. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of interested in that. So got some cool stuff coming out, but
I
really want another Souls game. I really want Dark Souls 4. I know some people that are like lore people and it's over now. You don't need to do any more. Blah blah. It'll just bastardize it. I don't care. Do another one.
Bloodborne. I think Bloodborne is obviously next.
Yeah, well, it makes sense.
If they go back to Dark Souls, that's fine.
Yeah, next year or 2 years from now, if they want to wait a half a decade and say, hey, we're gonna bring Blood. We haven't. It's been. So what would that be? It'd be 2021. It's like, hey, we haven't had a Dark Souls game in a while. We're gonna bring it back and do something different with it or something. But yeah,
I say get Bloodborne at least up to 3, so you can have Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne 3. And then you can do a Dark Souls 4. Or reboot it.
Or maybe just do a crossover at that point and do Blood Souls.
Oh.
So you take your hunter and you fight Lord Gwyn to relink the bloody fire circle. There's speculations ready for some lore.
Yeah.
Did you play the DLC for the first Dark Souls?
No. I didn't even beat the first Dark Souls.
There's a character in the DLC who shoots a crossbow at you and looks kind of like Victorian age looking.
Oh.
And they think that the game was this character is probably related to the Bloodborne series in a way, just based on how he was dragged into this world by Manus, the Lord of the Abyss.
Yeah.
And so like maybe he was pulled out of the Bloodborne area to be in this.
I could be remembering wrong, but I thought that there was some sort of connection in Bloodborne to the Souls universe. Maybe Demon Souls.
Sure. Maybe.
Which would make more sense because they're both Sony exclusives. But yeah, I thought for sure there was some connection, but I don't know.
I could do that. Go back to Demon Souls. Have you ever?
That game is hard as fuck.
That is the hardest one I've played.
Yeah.
Followed by 2, then 1, then 3 being the easiest one that I've played. That's how I would rank them as far as hard to easiest goes.
Wait, where do you put Dark Souls?
Dark Souls is the third in that list. So if I'm going from easiest to hardest, if I'm going from hardest to easiest, I'd go Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3.
Huh. What makes Dark Souls 2 so hard?
I don't know. I just had I think because like with Demon Souls and Dark Souls, I got that parry system down to a T. And I could never figure it out really in Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3 for that matter either. But Dark Souls 3 moves a lot more. The combat's faster in that one. I'm just laughing because we're talking about Dark Souls again.
I know. I knew it was coming because of Bloodborne. Me playing Bloodborne, obviously.
I feel like we're saying all the same things we've ever said
Probably.
about this shit.
Doesn't matter. People love Dark Souls and Bloodborne.
But that's how I rank those as far as difficulty goes. Then if I had to put Bloodborne in with that list, which I consider a Souls game, just because of its relation to.
I mean, it is.
I don't care.
Clearly, is.
People want to argue that, whatever. I don't fucking care. But
it's just the best one.
Sure, I won't even argue that. But I'll say I'd put that as. I'll probably put that right after Dark Souls 1, maybe before it, as far as it might be a little bit harder just because it's such a divergence from the typical Souls game, and so it took me a second to like I can't circle this guy and block. Okay.
Well, and like I said earlier, like there are like pretty, I don't want to say easy, but way more manageable areas in Blood. Like it
you have to be prepared to, like, you have to try to draw enemies away from, like, because if you come up on a group of a bunch of dudes, you better be quick.
Yeah,
because you are gonna get fucked up.
Yeah, it has easy and incredibly difficult parts. Like that's the thing. So I think it's kind of hard to judge as far as difficulty goes because there is that mixture of like easy and hard.
Well, and my favorite part about these games though is that like once you've got it figured out though, like it just makes you feel like such a badass.
It's the best feeling ever. Like I've never hated and loved a game so much as any of the Souls games. Like,
and there's so many different ways to play them. I mean, Bloodborne is the least like that. Like Dark Souls, there are so many different ways to play that game. Bloodborne, there's really only one way with a few variations. It's the least variable, not in a bad way. It's just the least variable. Everything is essentially attack things as fast as you can.
Well, because you don't have an option to either be all offensive or you don't have a shield, so you can't do the shield and block and slash. My
point being is I don't think it, because of the way Bloodborne is, I don't think it takes away from it that it doesn't have the variation that Dark Souls have. But one of the things I love about Dark Souls is like you can go in there as a guy with a sword and shield. You can go in there as a guy with just a giant sword. You can go in there with magic. You can go in there with a dagger and try to be sneaky. You can be a bow guy. You can go in there and have a big giant two-handed like pole arm and roll around, wear no armor, tons of armor, troll people. And I mean, there's just so much to do in a game that's very linear, essentially, and man, it's the best game ever.
I have a +9 cannon on my Bloodborne character.
You use how is the cannon?
So that Celestial Emissary boss, I took one shot at it. Yeah. Knocked off 3/4 of its health. So it was already down at 50% when it grew big, but I didn't slash at it. Took one shot with the cannon. All I needed was one hit with my weapon after I shot it.
What's your weapon?
That's saw blade. Saw cleaver.
Saw cleaver. Okay.
Yeah.
I always went with the axe first, and then as soon as I found what's the hammer called? The sword hammer.
Oh, the Odin. No.
The fell hammer. What's it called? Basically, it's a sword.
Yeah.
But then you can do a couple attacks, put the sword in the sheath it turns into a giant hammer. And you whack with the giant hammer. That was the one I liked the most.
Oh, I love the weapons in Bloodborne. Even though there's not a lot, I just love the way that they have two different forms, I guess.
Sure.
So it is it may not have as many weapons, but then you double it because you basically have two different weapons in one. So, yeah.
Yep, it's a good game.
Yep.
It's fun.
Yep. All right, so the thing that we both watched, The Babysitter on Netflix.
Yeah.
Now, I clearly remember when we both first saw we were perusing Netflix because we didn't have a movie in mind to do for an episode. And The Babysitter was there. So we watched the trailer, and you were like, oh, that's that Vine guy, guy from Vine.
Yeah, I remember him doing a bunch of Vine videos.
Yeah, and I think I remember, the trailer just looked dumb. It looked...
Yeah.
I don't know, basically what you would think that the movie would be like. Yeah. But then watching it,
yep,
it's not like that at all.
No.
Yeah, I don't really know, how would you describe it?
It's like a coming of age movie, but also a satanic cult babysitter movie.
Yeah. And yeah, it kind of reminds me of, I don't know, Superbad in a way.
Sure.
Just kind of, I don't know.
It's really it's a 12-year-old boy who is sheltered by his parents. Ends up, and he has this super hot babysitter by the name of Samara Weaving, who is the niece of Hugo Weaving.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And she's from Australia, but he apparently was born in Nigeria. So,
Okay.
and so I was like looking through their whole. There's a whole bunch of them that act and stuff, but
Yeah.
So yeah, she's the hot babysitter and like sticks up for him because he's kind of a nerd, but he's actually really resourceful and a lot smarter than anybody gives him credit for.
Yeah.
And whatever, but
Yeah, he's like building RC cars or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a big nerd.
Yeah, he's like a nerd, but yeah, he wants to be cool.
But I thought he was like 12, but then like his dad's trying to teach him how to drive and whatever.
Yeah, he was 12
Yeah.
because he mentions it all the time.
Yeah.
Um,
But basically, so the whole thing is like his babysitter's super cool. I mean, I'm watching this being like, man, I hate like I've always had the older brother complex where I wish I had an older brother. I was the oldest, but I always like wish I had an older brother or like somebody cool like that. The only babysitter that I remember is some girl, and she had a party while she was babysitting me, and she didn't get to babysit me anymore. I remember her having trouble getting me to stay in bed, and so some guy put me to bed that I don't know. And he put me to bed, and he's like, hey, man, you just got to stay asleep. And like, just close your eyes. It'll be cool. I'll make sure nobody messes up your house, buddy. I was like 4 or 5 maybe.
Sure.
I don't remember. I just remember some person I don't know being in my bedroom just telling me, hey, be cool, man. Stay in your bed. I'm like, all right. So I just fell asleep, I guess. But the neighbors had seen that people going into my house that weren't supposed to be there and told my parents. And so my parents said, you're not babysitting for us anymore. But they threw a party at my house.
Yeah. I had a babysitter that she let me watch Tales from the Crypt.
See, I didn't get that.
That was
I remember
start of it all.
I did have another babysitter. It was my good friends from grade school and whatever, high school. His was his older sister, so she would come over and just watch TV, and we would just go play like Legos in my room or something. So that was cool. Yeah, she wasn't throwing parties.
Yeah. Yeah, so the movie, I mean, it starts out like sort of like a lighthearted, like I said, like super bad-ish, like, I don't know, that kind of humor almost, like, I don't know, not really like dirty humor, but I don't know, there's I don't know. In any case,
it's like a less raunchy super bad, maybe, I guess you can go with. But in any case, the whole thing is that he's got a crush on the babysitter, but his neighbor Curly, who he won't admit he has a crush on, says, she like sleeps with dudes when you go to sleep. He goes, no, he doesn't. She doesn't do that. Well, stay up tonight and do that. So he stays up, and what she actually does is stab dudes in the heads with knives.
Yeah. Yeah. So
which you see in the previews.
Yeah.
But
once it gets to that point, then it goes.
It turns into a cat and mouse
completely thing. Off the rails and like has so much gore. Like I was not suspecting the amount of gore in this movie
and practical gore at that.
Yeah.
And so it takes off from there, and I don't want to say anymore. You should see it.
Yeah, for sure.
My initial reaction, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun for that kind of a movie, and
yeah, it's just a blast because it is just like. Basically, the cat and mouse thing. Like once that starts, then it's just like a free for all.
And watching this kid like overcome shit by accident or by design and this and that, and so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, watch it.
Yep, watch it. That's really all I want to say about it for now. Maybe we can revisit it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a whole episode or a movie of the week of it.
Yeah,
at some point.
We almost. I mean, if it wasn't for the holidays, we could have done that today.
Yeah. All right, we got some news here.
Lay it on me.
For once, quite a bit. So we actually watched this, 13 minutes of it. Silent Hill Requiem is this fan-made, crowd-funded Silent Hill movie. And... Okay, so
did you guys ever, if you've ever seen that, give me a second, House of the Dead movie? It's it's about as good as that.
Yeah, and I don't really want to. I don't want to. I feel bad shitting on it because it is like a fan made like project. Like, who knows what kind of budget it had, but.
So I think the difference being that is they're going for what they're going for on purpose.
Yes.
Whereas House of the Dead is just a piece of shit.
Right.
But this is just, I think they're doing this on purpose.
Well, yeah, because I mean it's clearly meant to look like
a video
game.
Yeah.
And it's all like green screened and
wigs
and bad video game acting.
I mean, because it's the whole like Resident Evil 2 is sorry about that. I thought you were one of them.
Yeah,
Chris, this way.
But yeah, I mean, 13 minutes was kind of enough for me. Like I can't imagine watching 2 hours because it is like I think 130 minutes.
I want to watch it.
Like over 2 hours of that, like it's just that. Maybe later on in the movie it gets a different color palette, but that almost like dark blue and
it looks like it gets green. It looks like old school PlayStation graphics sometimes because it's like it can't. The color palette, so there isn't enough to display or something.
Right.
So I'm thinking we should do it. And then we should watch the original and do an original versus remake.
Well, yeah, so it's supposed to, like, encompass the first 3 games and kind of expand on them.
Yeah, I definitely got reference. I mean, the main character is the girl from the 3rd game.
Yeah,
with that
she
fucking
meets
rabbit.
James
from the 2nd game.
Yeah.
Looking for his wife.
Yep. Was it Harry? Was he the first one?
Yeah, I think Harry was the first one.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't really get the reference. They're on a subway train.
I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I know The Room, which is the 4th one. Is that right?
Yep.
That one kind of ties them all together because they have the portal in his apartment that like goes into the different sort of.
Oh wait, that's where that rabbit's from too. Is the 4th game.
Oh, is it?
I think you see the rabbit in the 3rd game, but like, I know there's a thing in the 4th game where you can keep looking through the hole at the woman while she's like talking on the phone or something, and there's like a stuffed bunny on her bed, and like you come away from it, then you look back, you come away, then like one of the times when you look back, I think there's something that triggers it, but I can't remember. The bunny's looking at you, and it's like it's very creepy. But
yeah, you can check out the full movie.
Yep, there's a donation. I don't know what that means.
No,
it's a non-profit thing, so I don't know what the donation does or goes to.
No, I assume it's like pay what you want. But yeah, that's the whole thing. Like it can't be for profit because Konami still owns the Silent Hill license. Like, so what are they using this money for?
Sure. Give me an idea. What about a Silent Hill VR game?
Silent Hills?
VR game.
That would be awesome.
Like, what if they would do that? I mean, I know
that would be awesome if they didn't cancel Silent Hills.
Just do a new Silent Hill game but set it in VR.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Like, it doesn't have to be in a house and dealing with Lisa. It could just be, you're walking through the town of Silent Hill, and you're just walking, and you can look around as you're walking around, and you just fog everywhere. And
I seriously do not understand what happened there. Like, that's the most Konami's been, like,
stupid.
So many people were hyped about that game. Like, why? Yeah. Why would you stop that? It doesn't make sense.
I think it was more so because of what happened with Kojima.
Sure, but
it's not that game. It was Kojima, because Kojima and Guillermo were working on that game.
Yeah,
and they were mad at Kojima for taking forever to deal with Metal Gear Solid 5. But just like you let Kojima do what he do.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be successful.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to think that Silent Hill, the franchise, is done.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? Konami is making that dumb Metal Gear zombie game.
Yeah.
Survival.
Metal Gear Survival.
That looks really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it looks like Metal Gear Solid 5 with zombies.
Yeah, which I'd be fine with. It'd be like Red Dead with zombies.
I thought there was glowing eyes up there.
Don't do stuff like that. But but yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. So, if you remember, months back,
I probably don't.
both of us pre-ordered a little Suspiria Blu-ray.
Oh yeah.
Limited edition, 6,000 copies.
When's that coming?
It has a release date.
Huh. When?
December 19th.
Yours.
It'll be in our hands. So, as far as I know, it's still not sold out. So,
Get it.
go right now, pre-order it while you still can, because it's going to be great. They showed like images of the front and back and insert, and
supposedly it has that 40 minutes of footage they found in a German theater in some attic, right?
I don't know.
Because I know they found more footage from that movie.
Yeah.
And they've been going around showing it, and this is supposed to have it in there?
Well, it's a little bit confusing because I think what they're touring around is like a 4K version of that. But I don't know. I don't know. It's all confusing because I thought this release was going to be like the 4K Blu-ray, but apparently there's a different 4K version coming at some point.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's a couple of things coming up from that site that are like other. I think they're doing like a.
But I don't think it's Synapse that
okay.
is doing the 4K one. I don't know. It's really confusing how they're releasing different versions, but yeah.
Yay, 19th. All right.
Yeah, that's less than a month away. Just in time for Christmas.
We're gonna watch that.
Yes.
We're doing a show.
I wanted to save Suspiria for when the remake comes out.
No.
But I don't know when that's gonna happen.
And I don't care if it comes out.
Yeah. I mean, we'll definitely do an episode on it when it does, but I don't think we need to do an original versus remake because I don't want to put the original.
When I sit down to watch Suspiria, I want to sit down to enjoy it, not to pit it up against some piece of shit that's already. I mean, it's not going to be better than it.
Well, that's why I want to do Martyrs again. Just Martyrs.
No, just the original Martyrs.
Yes.
Any time.
Yeah.
Any time. I think we should. You know what we should do with Martyrs though, is bring somebody in to watch it that hasn't seen it.
Oh, that would be fun.
Just like find somebody you know and say, "Hey, we want you on the show. You're gonna watch the show Martyrs because we can't stop sucking its dick." You know.
Yeah.
Because I think what we need is somebody to watch and tell us that it's not that good.
See, I mean, it's objective. I mean, it's objectively amazing, like a fantastic film. Like, just objectively, like
it's a platinum.
Yeah, there's no like,
there's
no like. Okay, you could say that about any of the Astron 6 movies, like Father's Day or whatever, but yeah, Martyrs is just platinum all around.
He did it again.
Your brother?
Hey, brother.
Hey, brother.
Stop calling me while we're doing this. He did it again.
Our movie of the week last week, Happy Death Day, has now passed the $100 million mark.
Congratulations, Happy Death Day.
Worldwide, yes. I think it's something like 55 million domestic, and the other international, and it still has like 6 different markets yet to open, so it's going to be super successful, which is awesome. I love when horror movies are successful, and it's a good one.
And it's PG-13, which was surprising. Like,
yeah, I kind of want the DVD Blu-ray is coming out in January, and I'm wondering if there's going to be like an unrated, different cut of the movie
where every time she gets killed, you see it.
Yes.
See, I wonder if. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I'm picturing like some of the ways she dies, and then like if they show it, like I wonder if it changes the tone because the movie seems kind of goofy. And it's like if you put in these grisly deaths, will it like kind of like put a different spin on it?
Well, I think that tone is what. At no point was I like, oh, that was really dumb. Like they cut that death.
Because I mean, gore can be funny in movies like that because you think about Tucker and Dale. That's fucking the guy jumps in a wood chipper.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I don't think it really took away from not seeing the deaths. So I mean, it's fine. Like if they don't show it, but I would be interested.
I know there's an alternate ending though.
Yeah,
and I wonder what that is.
The killer was
the boy the whole time.
She keeps on looping.
Yeah, and it's just she's being punished for being such a piece of shit. Or maybe Bill Murray actually makes an appearance.
That would be awesome. Walking Dead is still going on, but it has hit its lowest ratings in 6 years. Now, I still watch it. But I can see why people are dropping off. This season has gone nowhere. Like,
and if you're me, and the small bits and pieces you get, the seasons never went anywhere to begin with.
Sure, no, fair enough. But this is like every single episode this season, and it's 5 episodes in, 4 episodes, I don't know. But they're all the same. They do not accomplish anything. It's ridiculous. So I can see if you've watched two or 3 episodes, why you would be like, what is this garbage? Like, it's the same episode, just it's dumb. So I understand why people are tuning out. It's just this whole Negan storyline is worse than the second season when they're at the farm. Like, I remember people give that season shit because they sit around on a farm the entire season, but this is just recycled episodes over and over again. Dumb.
Yeah, I couldn't even listen to you talk about it. I was looking up release dates for Code Vein because I never liked that show. I hate it. I hate that show. I don't understand its appeal. I mean, yes,
it's zombies.
I get it. The guy from Boondock Saints is super cute.
Norman Reedus.
Yes, but apart from that, who fucking cares? I don't care about any of these characters. I hate them all.
I don't know. It's, whatever.
Look, if you want a good, depressing story about going through a post-apocalyptic thing with a guy that kind of looks like Rick Grimes, watch The Road.
Viggo
Mortensen.
Yep.
That's a good show. That's sad, but it's good.
Yeah. That's not quite Martyrs level, but it's up there.
We should do that for an episode.
The Road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we should do that.
Yeah.
The Road.
Someone at my work told me I need to watch this movie called A Boy and His Dog.
Okay.
It's post-apocalyptic. Apparently, I don't know.
So is everything this year.
Well, it's old movie.
Oh, okay,
it's like 80s or maybe even 70s. I don't know.
It does sound familiar.
But, yeah, it sounded interesting. Like, I don't know. So we'll have to check it out. See if it would fit in our, our show that has no rules. We can watch whatever we want. Yeah. So Neil Blomkamp has released his newest short through his Oats.
We should call this a micro short.
Oats Studios. Yeah, it's 2 minutes long. A little over 2 minutes.
A micro short.
So it's, I don't know how to say it, Gdansk? Dansk?
I don't know what I watched.
Gdansk.
There's some knights and a big knight.
Giant knight.
A giant knight. And then a guy and some lady. And then the guy gets crushed. And
It's all animation.
Yeah, and yeah.
Looks like a video game.
Looks like a video game.
Kind of looks like Skyrim.
Yeah.
It's so the big knight comes and he has some corpses impaled onto its back.
Yeah,
or were they on chains on his back?
I don't know. It doesn't make no sense to me.
Yeah, he picks the guy up,
And he just
squeezes him,
So he's got this
gets
big
the juice
mallet.
out.
He's got this big old mace, a spiked mace, and he goes, pick up, squish. It's like you could have went smash.
Yeah. Approaches the woman and the baby.
And then that's it.
That's it.
That was
Part
dumb.
1.
What the fuck? Okay, part 1. Okay, maybe it'll get better. But I wanted more. It did leave me wanting, like, okay, what's this about?
For sure. But yeah, little over 2 minutes. That's like trailer category. Like it could have been a trailer. But maybe, who knows? Maybe part 2 will be
10 minutes long.
Oh, let's hope.
You know.
But yeah, I love this Oats Studios, whatever is little indie little short productions.
Got a VR game ready.
What's that?
That last Neil Blomkamp short he did with the hands and feet demons that screams.
Yeah. Yep.
You run around a space station trying to avoid that thing in VR.
You know, Evil Within 2 kind of has a monster similar to that.
Oh, really?
And Bloodborne, the one reborn.
Praise the sun.
Yep. Something like that. Wrong game. There is a game. I meant to show you this trailer before because I assume you didn't watch it. But it's called Daemonical.
Stop it. Wait. So the word demon and then monocle.
No, DAE.
Oh, sure. Diamond, demon.
Sure. Okay.
But then monocle, like the single glass.
Yes.
So D-monocle is what we're looking at here.
Daemonical.
Daemonical.
Yes. No. Is monocle with an A?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's with an I.
Are you sure?
Like monocle, like that you wear in your eye?
Yep.
I think it's with an I.
Are you
M-O-N-I-C-L-E?
M-O-N-A-C-L-E.
I'm looking it up.
Monocle.
Is that what we're looking at?
Yes.
It's about like a demon that lives in a monocle?
No, but I'm not gonna talk about it till you find
That's
out.
not how you spell it either. It's M-O-N-O-C-L-E.
Oh, we're both dumb. But it is another what do you call those games? 4 versus 1?
Asymmetrical. Multiplayer game.
Yes. But this is first person, and you play as five people out in the wilderness, I don't know. And then one of you becomes possessed by a demon.
Okay.
And you have to kill the other ones. So the trailer, it's just like a short little teaser trailer. Shows first person, a girl. You can hear the character is a girl running, and then she like holds out her hands, and then the fingers start like snapping back. Her fingernails like come off,
Gross.
snap off too, both her hands, and then they get all like look like they're
old,
burning or bleeding or something like that. And then you become possessed.
So then you just chase your friends around the woods until you kill them all?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It looks... I mean, I'm not really into those kind of games, which sucks. Like, I like the premise, but
What about him bothers you?
Just, I mean, I'm not into multiplayer games usually to begin with.
But like Friday the 13th was fun for you.
Yeah, but it's also not something that I'm regularly going to play, which is fine, I guess.
I think it'd be. I don't know how you do this as a video game, but I think it'd be kind of fun where you and 4 friends go to the woods at the camp. One of you gets possessed, and you have to figure out which one's possessed, and the other one's trying to hide it.
See, the thing I do like is that you all start out normal. Like, you all start out, like, so you don't really know who's the possessed one.
Sure.
So I do like that aspect where it seems to be, like, randomized, like, you start out normal, and then one of you is not going to be ending very well.
Sure. But then, like, what I would like, you gotta like, basically try to like stealth kill everybody and not let anybody else know who you are. Like, they can't figure out who you are.
Yeah.
Because if they figure out who you are, then they can come after you.
Sure.
So you basically, what it has to be is like, night 1. Oh, I'll go get some firewood, and I'll go down to the river get some water, and everybody's gotta kind of go complete this task. Everybody has a task.
Yeah.
And so the person that's the demon has to kill somebody, but also complete their task, so that the people don't know it was them.
Oh, I like this.
Something
I
like
where
that.
That's going. Yeah.
But that kind of a thing.
Yeah. So I think what happens is the ones that aren't possessed have to like collect items to perform a ritual to exorcise the demon or kill the demon in some way. I don't know.
Sure.
So it is a lot like Friday the 13th where the other players have to collect items
And it would be fun, too, to put, like, a scare tactic in it where, like, you can scare the other players with, like, pop scares and shit.
And then do, like, Eternal Darkness, sort of like if they get too scared, it messes up things in their vision and whatnot.
I like that.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, we should make games.
We should. We're clearly
Our company would never go broke.
Full of amazing ideas. So, a few different trailers have come out in the recently.
Yeah.
Let's start with The Strangers, Pray at Night. Now, this was just like, it says it's a teaser trailer, not a full trailer. What do you think about this movie coming 10 years down the line?
It's kind of crazy it took that long.
Do you think that's why they're not calling it The Strangers 2?
Maybe, but...
Because all the people that remember The Strangers are now dead?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's kind of it, too. It's like... So they're like these creepy killer people who kill everybody that see them so that they'll never... Like, they're never going to get famous because they don't leave anybody to...
They left the Jehovah's Witnesses alive.
But they saw their faces. They weren't wearing their masks while they were driving away.
Oh, that's true.
So I don't know. I think that I think that it didn't need a sequel at all.
Well, and the weird thing is that it's another based on true events.
But it's not. They put that on everything. Ask Wes Craven in the what do they call it when they talk about their movie as you watch it? What do they call that? Commentary.
Oh yeah.
In the commentary of Last House on the Left, based on true events. We put that on everything.
Yeah, I wonder. It seems to be set in present day. That's about all the info I can gather from this.
It looks like more of the same, but not as good.
Well, because it's not like a home invasion. It looks like it's
a town invasion.
Traveling invasion.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem. I think it could be I don't think it's gonna have the same punch that the first one did.
Well, because the whole thing with The Strangers is you don't know what's going on, why these people are doing this.
Yeah, you do. Why are you doing this? Because you were home.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like,
but it seems like this is. I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to think of. Like,
I'll be honest, I'm not interested. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not just by what I saw at this point in time, not interested in it.
What about it doesn't appeal to you?
Like that scene where she's in the tube and the headlights are on her, and she says something, and then the one lady with the bob haircut
pops up.
And goes, "Oh, we just started."
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm kind of trying to articulate. Like, it's creating these villains. Like, the original Strangers was cool because it was almost like The Shape.
Yeah.
In the original Halloween, where it's like these people are like there, but you don't really know anything about them.
No, they're just creepy and they're evil.
Yeah, whereas
scary.
this, it seems like they're gonna be brought to the forefront, where it's like, well, now they talk and now I don't know, they have motives.
Yeah.
I
don't know how I feel about it yet. I mean, what I feel about my initial reaction to it is whatever. I don't care.
Sure.
I hope it's good. I hope everything that ever comes out succeeds. That's not going to hurt anybody, obviously. Yeah. But I don't get the best feeling from this.
It has Christina Hendricks, so at least there's that.
That doesn't do anything for me. The only thing I've seen her in besides this when we finally see it is Firefly, and she was okay.
She was on Firefly?
Yeah, she was in a couple episodes of Firefly. Oh. And then Crash, I think it was what it was called.
Crash,
or
which one?
The one with Ryan Gosling. She gets shot with a shotgun in it.
Wait, was that the drama or the?
Oh, not Crash. It's not called Crash. Crash is the one where there was the one with David Spader that's good.
Yes.
Where like he and the woman
they get off
by watching
crashes.
Car crashes. And then there was the one that's about race relations. And
was that a David Lynch movie?
I don't think so.
Crash? Was it even called Crash?
I think it was called Crash.
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw something hilarious I have to show you later. It's a meme. But they use the scene from Knock Knock in it.
Oh, the Keanu Reeves one? Oh, I love that movie.
That's so funny. Crash movie. I'm gonna write Crash. Oh, Bandicoot came up first, and then a David Spader. It was a Cronenberg movie.
Yeah.
Maybe David Spader.
Yeah, Cronenberg sounds right.
1996 thriller drama.
I'm thinking of
Intergalactic.
Lost Highway.
Yeah, that's David Lynch for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yep, David Cronenberg.
Yep.
Oh, I love that movie.
So the other trailer, Rampage. The Rock has his friend George, the big white ape, and then it grows big, and then there's a big wolf.
It has nothing to do with the game.
And then there's a big crocodile.
In the game, they were people that turned into these things. Because when you got beat, you were naked and you would do you'd walk across the map like this.
Yep.
So it's there's a game back in the 80s, and then in the 90s there was some sequels called Rampage, where you play a giant lizard or gorilla or wolf.
Yes.
Which I don't think the wolf existed in the original game.
Yeah, it did.
I don't think it did. At least on the Nintendo. Maybe in the arcade it did, but I don't think the Nintendo port got the wolf. For the original Rampage game that came out on Nintendo, I'm almost positive there's no wolf.
Maybe.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you run around and you smash buildings and eat people, and then the military's tried to beat you, and you just go from city to city destroying it.
Yeah.
And super fun. Lots of
great
fun
game.
Those are great games. And then they made a movie on it. That game has not been relevant in 2 decades. And
yeah, but I mean, I remember that game well. But it also seems like that's not really the audience that it's going for.
No, it looks like a serious movie.
Yeah. Well, as serious as giant monster animals and The Rock is gonna get.
But like, it looks like it's touching and like serious. Like, oh my god, my big white ape friend is like, because it's like an albino ape.
Yeah, it's got a touch of like Planet of the Apes. Like,
it looks super stupid.
At least it held on to the names George, and I mean, they don't.
Did you hear about the 30-foot wolf?
Yeah, what was the wolf's name?
Wolfie
and Lizzie.
All right. Well,
in any case, yeah. I mean, there's buildings being smashed. There's giant animals. And The Rock.
Yep.
Looks like a typical blockbuster buildings being smashed movie. That's about... That's what it seems like. It doesn't seem like anything special beyond that. It did look like...
Ralph is the name of the wolf.
Ralph, yeah. It did look like the ape and the wolf team up at one point. There's one shot in the trailer where they're both like, I think, fighting the military.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sure.
But.
So, a quick aside, but still about this, is I was correct. Ralph was excluded from the 87 version of the game for the Nintendo.
Oh.
However, the Atari Lynx got an additional fourth character.
What was that?
The fourth one was a giant rat named Larry.
Giant rat, eh? Well, maybe that's in the sequel. Or maybe it's in the end credits.
Or maybe like, I'm not going to see this movie.
The sewer is moving.
It doesn't look like much fun.
Yeah.
It looks like a Transformer movies with giant animals.
I'll watch it when it's one day on HBO, Netflix, Hulu, one of those, Showtime.
Okay.
So what happened with Suicide Squad? I thought I would never ever watch Suicide Squad. Then it was on HBO. I was like, why not?
It's on HBO?
Yeah, it was.
Maybe
probably still
I would
is.
watch that. I want to see that. I heard it was terrible. I don't care. I want to see it.
It's not as bad as people make it out to be, but it's also not great.
I heard that Man of Steel was bad. Like that one too.
Man of Steel was okay.
Batman vs Superman?
Nah.
I don't think it's as bad as some people said, but it is still pretty bad.
Yeah.
That fight scene between Superman and Batman where it's like, oh, your mom's name is blah, 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 too, Barbara? Oh, let's be friends. Let's go beat up Lex Luthor, who's in it for 2 minutes. Oh, by the way, he makes Doomsday.
Oh, yeah.
That movie sucks. Never mind.
Doomsday.
I don't care what anybody says. That movie's stupid.
I hate how Doomsday... I'm sure we talked about this past episodes ago, but I hate how Doomsday looks like your typical... It's like they have some sort of stock CGI monster that they just like reskin or maybe like change the color palette on, and that's what Doomsday was. So dumb. Whatever.
So this is what Doomsday looks like in the comics. Have you ever seen Doomsday in the comics?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they did kind of close. He looks like a big dumb stock monster.
I guess. I don't know. Whatever. I just hate CGI. Maybe that's the thing.
Sure.
Anything CGI is just garbage.
Like that in the movie.
Okay. Fine. Sure. Whatever.
But my problem with the whole thing is, like, the Doomsday story arc was way better than this movie. Like, he wreaks havoc across the world, and then finally how is this possible?
I don't know. Dark Souls.
Dark Souls ruins everything. Dark Souls, don't play that game. It's terrible. No, they're great games.
Play Bloodborne instead.
Let's try to go a whole year without talking about Dark Souls.
Well, we can't because once PSX hits and Bloodborne 2 is announced, then we'll be all right. One final trailer to talk about.
Cool, do it.
It is A Quiet Place. Directed by and starring a certain Office star.
Yeah, I saw this one.
God.
This one looks good. John Krasinski.
John Krasinski.
Yeah. This looks like a sweet movie.
Oh, it looks so good. So yeah, it's
probably going to be worse than Rampage, but it looks really good.
No. It's going to be great. So it seems to be set in a world you don't really know. It doesn't show anything. Well, kind of. It seems to be set in a world where there's some kind of creature that seems to be alerted by any sort of sound. So these people, this family is living out their days in complete, as much silence as they possibly can do. Like they're playing a board game and everything is cushioned, so when they roll the dice,
they're rolling their dice on a blanket.
Yep.
And then their pieces they're like knitted.
Yeah.
Like somebody just knit some little pieces to use. They're playing Monopoly.
Yeah. And then there's a shot in the trailer where there's like a giant claw mark down the wall. So I mean, it leads me to believe that these creatures are fairly large. But they also have to fit inside a house, so they're not like colossal things, but
I have no idea.
They seem like they can be
I'm getting
an
the picture
imposing
of like
threat.
Wendigos is what I'm thinking.
Sure.
From Until Dawn.
Ah.
I'm thinking like Wendigos. So they're just got claws. You
Yeah.
know, not necessarily huge, but
Yeah.
they have claws and they're strong. And maybe they are Wendigos. I mean, they're up in the woods.
Yeah,
maybe they're Wendigos.
Could be.
But I'm excited to see this one.
Yeah.
And it's weird that John Krasinski's in it and directs it. Like, whenever I see that dude, I just think The Office.
It's just like, what was that 13 Days movie? The Benghazi movie?
That's it.
Where he's like a soldier. And it's like, John Krasinski, he loves Pam.
That was like, I've been watching Band of Brothers again. You know who's in that? Well, everybody's in that movie. The guy that was the main star in Dagon that we watched a few weeks ago was in that movie. In that TV series. Yeah, he was one of the soldiers in that for like an episode or two. But Simon Pegg plays a soldier in that one.
Everyone is in that.
Yeah, everybody is in that. James McAvoy. He's in it. Who plays Magneto?
Yeah.
Who's that guy's name?
James McAvoy.
No, he plays Professor X. Who plays Magneto?
Oh, the guy from that stripper movie, and he's Alien.
Yeah,
Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus. Him. He's in it.
What is that guy's name?
Tom Hardy's in it.
Oh, Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy's in it.
Great.
Colin Hanks is in it.
Tom Hanks?
No, he produced it with Steven Spielberg.
Oh, sure.
I think one or two of the kids from The Sandlot are in it.
That's crazy. All right, that's all I've got.
David Schwimmer's in it.
That's all I've got for news.
All right, let's.
You know what was great?
No, I don't.
The O.J. Simpson. What American Crime Story? O.J. Simpson.
Sure. What about it?
Oh, it was great. People versus O.J. Simpson.
Yeah. Why? Just.
David Schwimmer's in it.
Oh, David Schwimmer's in it. Yeah. David Schwimmer's also in Apt Pupil.
Really?
You ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
And else is in that? Magneto.
Nazis. Yeah, McKellen.
Yeah. But he plays Magneto as well.
Yep. All right. This has gone on long enough. Let's just
get through our.
Yes. Movie of the week. This episode's movie of the week. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope all was well. Hope you stuffed your face. Yada, yada, yada. This episode's movie of the week is 2012's Thankskilling 3.
Has anybody gone muff diving before? Oh, sorry, Muff. Gotta make sure that sphincter is nice and loose.
This movie is starring Daniel Usage as Uncle Donnie, Joe Hartzler as Jefferson, Preston Altry as Nibla, and Benjamin Simon as Mrs. Turkey. That was the top cast.
Okay, so
Wait. It was written by Jordan Downey, Mike Will Downey, and Kevin Stewart, and directed by Jordan Downey.
we had a rule
Yeah.
way back when me and my friends would hang out every Friday and watch a movie. Where after 15 minutes, if you can't stand the fucking movie, you could veto it. And then you would just turn it off. You had to watch it for at least 15 minutes just in case if something changed. But then you could veto that motherfucking movie and put something else in.
See, this was
We don't have that rule here.
See,
but had I been able to, I would have vetoed this movie.
this was your idea,
I see,
and
it
I like
wasn't.
it. I
said that it exists.
I like it because last Thanksgiving we did Thanksgilling,
Yeah, we
the
did.
original Thanksgilling.
Which is much better.
So it makes sense. It makes sense
And I think we should do
to
this.
do Thanksgilling 3.
I think every Thanksgiving we should do them both for the rest of our lives. Even if we stop doing this show, I think every Thanksgiving we should get together and watch these two movies
Both of them.
and just do a little show about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This is. I'll react to what you say because I stopped paying attention after a while.
the movie starts out great. Starts out, you instantly, right off the bat, first shot in the movie, boobs.
Yep.
Space boobs.
Wanda Lust.
Wanda Lust, who, if you remember, was the pilgrim with the boobs out in the very first shot of the original Thanksgiving. So she's floating in space. She's an astronaut, but she has cutouts where her boobs are for whatever reason. And then a spaceship with a turkey baster on the front comes flying by, and it is Turkey. And he shoots Wanda Lust
In half.
and she explodes in pieces.
In half.
And then another spaceship comes out, and it is Captain Pilot. First name Pie, last name Lot.
Yep, and he's pumpkin.
Yep.
Better believe it.
And then it turns out to be this is Thankskilling 2 in space.
Yeah.
So turns out this was like the worst movie ever made. And so the whole like intro credits is them taking a dump truck out in the desert, dumping all the copies of Thanksgiving 2 out.
Right next to all the copies of E.T. for the Atari.
Yeah. And flamethrowing. Flamethrowing? That's a word.
Flame throwing.
Flamethrowing.
Okay, good.
All the copies, except for one they take and dump in the trash, apparently.
Yeah.
Then we get this robot
And a worm.
and a worm that rides on its shoulder named, well,
Muff.
the worm called, yeah, it's Muff, M.U.F.F. And Rhonda, the worm. They're there for some reason.
Rhonda was the name of the worm?
Yeah. Rhonda Worm.
You're a worm, Harry.
And then we get to Turkey at his house, living a suburban life. Has a wife.
They treat it like a sitcom.
Yeah. He's watching TV. Has a son. Grandma's there. They're all turkeys, obviously.
Yep.
And it is Turkey's 514th birthday. And I don't remember from the original Thanksgiving. There's something with every so many years Turkey comes back because he has the curse of the Native Americans. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't. So you get a scene where the mother feeds the baby.
Yeah.
But I don't want it.
Grandma's little cake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, her carrot cake.
Yeah. But does the bird thing where the mom eats it and then pukes it all over the baby.
And baby's bird's just like, you're getting it all over my head. You're not even getting it in my mouth. It's gross.
And then Nibla, which is the name of the son, has this toy version of
Uncle Donnie's
Pluckmaster 3000, which takes a whole turkey, puts it in there, it comes out cooked and stuffed.
Yeah, plucks
turkey.
it, stuffs it, cooks it, and like a matter of seconds.
Yep. And then there's a commercial for the Pluckmaster on TV. Nibbler's like, that's what I'm talking about. All the kids want one.
So he's sitting there putting like turkeys in this like toy machine, and they're coming out like it looks like chewed gum.
Yeah. And this is all puppet work. This is all. A lot of things in this movie are puppets.
Yeah. Turkey gets mad.
Yeah, because he also sees a news report about Thankskilling 2.
No, it's the worst movie ever.
Yeah. And so Turkey wants to get a copy of it. Don't remember why he wants a copy of it, but he does. So then he turns evil and cuts the Mrs. Turkey in half. And takes the son with him.
Yep.
To go search for the movie. Then we meet
Uncle Donnie.
Greg Garbage.
Yeah.
And
Yumi,
who is this weird
orange puppet.
Yeah. And we'll get to what Yumi is later on, because they don't explain it till almost the end of the movie. But she has lost her mind.
Yep.
Her mind is gone.
It's gone.
Missing,
and she's looking for it.
Yeah. And she
And
thinks
it looks like a uterus for some reason.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's supposed to be like a brain with arms or if it's supposed to look like a uterus, but it does. And she thinks that she has to find Thanksgiving to find her mind, right?
Yeah, for some reason.
For some reason. I don't know. A lot of things don't make a whole lot of sense in this movie.
Oh, my God.
But I think it's on purpose. Like, I think it's supposed to be purposely goofy
and disconnected and disjointed.
Crazy.
And,
There's something else in the trash called Meow Mirror, which is like on her Yumi's backpack, and there's this whole like song and
butthole kissing.
Yep. And is it Meow Mirror that gives a copy of Thankskilling 2 to Yumi?
That or is it the dumpster guy?
Oh, it might be Greg Garbage. Greg Garbage?
Yeah, maybe it was him.
Probably.
I don't remember. I already forgot everything.
In any case, Uncle Donnie is coming out, and so they meet each other.
And you got, they're rapping grandma.
Yep, he takes her back to his house.
Something like that.
And then we meet Jefferson and the rapping grandma.
Yeah, but Jefferson wants to get a pike. A long pike.
Yeah.
For now, he's got a broomstick with a butter knife on it.
Taped to the end of it, yeah. Rapping grandma. What was her name?
Flois.
Yes.
name's Lois, but she goes by Flois or something like that. Oh.
Also a puppet.
Also,
Uncle Donnie and Jefferson are real people.
Mm-hmm.
But
maybe. We don't know that for a fact. The entire movie's budget went into making them as animatronics.
I guess are they the only human characters in the movie?
That I can remember, yeah.
So yeah, then we get Turkey and Nibla riding on Big Seagull Taxi, which is a seagull that they're riding on through the air.
And he feels bad that they can't fly with those wings and whatever.
Gets mad and pushes Nibla off, and Nibla splats on the ground. So Turkey goes and sucks out Nibla's soul and sends him to find a copy of Thankskilling 2.
Yep. And he finds it.
Yep, and then possesses it.
He possesses it. But he's still with Yumi, and they're possessing it.
Yep, and then we get a whole like Jefferson and Uncle Donnie want to start Thanksgiving Land. That's like their dream, a Thanksgiving theme park. And then we get more of Muff and Rhonda. They're from space, and there's a nerd worm. I don't know,
but they gotta make a vortex.
Yes, they have to make a vortex out of Muffy's butthole.
And so and the worm looses him up by putting his worm end in his butt.
Yep. Jefferson gets killed. Turkey shows up and cuts Jefferson to pieces.
Yep, and he gets like 3 deathliners at this point. Yeah. Where he like grabs the butter knife and like puts some of Jefferson on some toast. He's like, he's toast.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like he does like 3 deathliners for this one kill. So.
Oh, I forgot. You'll probably hear it in the beginning of this episode because I might replace it. I think Turkey goes, "Nice space tits, bitch."
I think he says "nice tits, bitch" in space.
Oh, okay.
That's how he says it.
Yeah.
You might remember that from the intro of all of our shows.
Nice
that
tits,
fucking Turkey.
They all, Uncle Donnie, Yumi,
Muff and the worm.
No, I don't think Muff and the worm go, because they end up out in the wilderness.
Yeah.
And they meet the old turkey.
Oh yeah, it teaches them the legends about
Feather World.
The Featherin. They're he's part of the Featherin, like the Brethren,
yes,
but the Featherin.
Yes. And then there's this weird like music video-esque thing that goes on, and it doesn't really make sense, but there's music and stuff going on. It's weird. But and then we get to the whole like they go back and they have to make the vortex.
Yeah.
And they kill Turkey.
Yeah.
They shove him in Uncle Donnie's original Pluckmaster 1. The Pluckmaster 1, which also talks.
Yep.
And then we get Uncle Donnie's sad story about he used to have a wife and a kid, but he sent them out to get stuffing and gravy. And he's like, you know what else like stuffing? Wolves. The wolves got stuffing, and you know what else they got? A side of wife and child. So there's that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they end up putting Turkey through the Pluckmaster 1, and
he comes back though.
Yeah, and then there's skeletal turkeys,
and they all fight for him, and
Yep, they put Turkey back together, but they can't find his dick.
Yep.
So
he hooks the chainsaw to it.
Yep, the chain carver inscribed on the side of it. Yep. Then we get Yumi and Rhonda have to put on disguises, bird beaks, to go into the feather world. And stuff happens. Don't really know.
I kind of got lost at this point.
Yeah.
This movie is an hour and a half long.
Yeah. And it feels like it's fucking 5 hours long.
It felt like 2.5 hours long.
Oh my god.
Needless to say, everybody fucking dies and lives and gets what they want.
Yep. They explain that Yumi isn't a puppet, but it's what puppets are based on.
Yep.
She's a life form that puppets on
Uncle
Earth.
Doug's got to stick his hand up her bottom to like get it because it's a puppy. Do what you think you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then she wakes up.
Yeah,
so
because
fucking
Turkey
gross.
cuts her arm off. So yeah.
And she goes, "It's just a felt wound."
Yeah. But yeah, Yumi ends up going through the vortex back to wherever she's from.
She dies.
She's found her mind.
Yep.
And that's essentially it.
Yep. And they,
as much as
I care to fucking. Honestly,
yeah.
I feel bad, but this movie, it is what it is. It was supposed to be bad, and it's terrible.
Yeah, and like the cinematography is actually pretty damn good.
There's
like,
some good shots. Yeah.
It doesn't look like a shitty B movie.
Yeah, it does.
Well, okay. Besides the puppets, which I think was clearly made on purpose, because they show like the strings and all that.
Sure.
Like they're not trying to hide that they're puppets.
Yeah. So this movie is terrible. This movie is absolutely fucking trash. But that's obviously what they were going for.
Yeah.
So for this reason, I still like it better than the remake of Martyrs.
I agree, but I disagree at the same time. Like,
which would you rather watch?
I would rather watch Martyrs because at least it would feel like it's over sooner than Thankskilling 3.
Oh, they're fucking terrible.
And
but
yeah, I mean, if you're in the mood for a bad, but I don't know if I want to say so bad it's good because I don't.
It's not good.
It's not good.
It's not. Sorry, I'm yelling. It's not good.
It's interesting.
Nope.
I'm not interesting in the sense of like it makes you think, but
No.
it's interesting that these ideas
No, that's not interesting.
came to fruition.
No, that's not interesting. There's nothing about this that is worth anything.
Just the bizarro nature of it.
I will admit I would rather watch it than Martyrs remake, but I'd rather watch The Witch. And so it's I don't give it a seal of approval, but
Oh my goodness.
it is. I would rather watch it than the American remake of Martyrs. That is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah. I have to agree.
I don't want to sit through either of those ever again.
No.
But
No.
I will make it a yearly thing to sit through Thankskilling 3 as a joke, as opposed to ever watching Martyrs remake for any reason.
I'm okay with that.
For any reason whatsoever.
I'm okay with that.
Well, I never watched that piece of shit movie.
I do like that they call it Thankskilling 3.
Yeah.
And then make a reference how Thankskilling 2 was the worst movie ever made. Yeah.
And so it's a bad movie, but like I said, it's by design.
Yes, and I think there are enjoyable things about it.
Sure.
Just the ridiculousness of it.
And I'm happy that it's too long because it just makes it even more ridiculous.
But it makes it
isn't
that long, but it feels that long.
Yeah, I mean they really went out there and made the worst fucking movie ever. But they were trying and it was successful. But almost. It's still. See, that's the thing is they were trying to make a bad movie, whereas Martyrs was trying to be good.
Right.
And it sucks.
Yeah, and I'm in no way want to shit on the creators of this movie because, I mean, even though it's a bad movie, like, I give them all the credit for making this bad movie because it's there are good things about it. It's just a really bad movie.
Well, because that's the thing. Is everything that is bad about it, it seems on purpose.
Yeah.
Like
totally.
It doesn't seem like it's just like, it doesn't seem like a bad movie. It seems like a bad movie on purpose. Like, it wasn't like, it's not like everything they chose, every stupid, dumb thing they did was on purpose.
Yeah.
And I give them credit.
So they
were
successful in creating a bad movie.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was so good it was bad.
Sure.
It was so good that it was bad. It was I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, you don't have to go out of your way to see this movie. No seal of approval.
No. But you know what, though? I'm going to give it a honorary seal of approval for actually successfully doing what they're trying to do.
Sure.
So they're going to get a holiday seal of approval.
Sure.
This is a great Thanksgiving horror movie because there's only two. There's Thankskilling and Thankskilling 3.
Yeah.
So it is the second best Thanksgiving scary movie ever.
Something like that. All right, get at us on Twitter at ScreamFiends. Let us know what you thought of Thankskilling 3. If you have seen it, did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you? I don't know. What did you think? Because I don't even know what to think after seeing it. YouTube, if you're watching this, you won. iTunes, Google Play, subscribe, download all of our episodes. Subscribe on YouTube. 7voltmedia.com. You can check out all the stuff that our people do. Zero XP Podcast is the video game podcast. Freedom Anime and Professional Wrestling is the Anti-Seinfeld Show. And us. That's what's currently active. There are plenty of other stuff that goes on there on their web page. Patreon.com/ScreamFiends. You can become a patron for any amount that you wish or nothing at all. You always get free content from us, and it's wonderful. I think that's about it, right?
That's all I can think of.
All right, from us at ScreamFiends, so long and farewell.
The name's Flowers, bitch, and I'm an old fucking rapper. Me and 30B, we tear it up at Napa. We got a 3-prong glass of gangster Merlot. Cause we be gangster hangs, and that's what gangster heads do. Boom, shakalaka, ain't that what they say? I got a Glock with your name on it every day. Discount at McDonald's, I'd like me a McChicken. There's a hole in my box that you could stick a dick in. I'm a bingo queen, don't you ever forget. I'm like B-I-N when I go spit. Hairy and black, I like 'em big like King Kong. Pull my diaper to the side,